Our painter sits down to address a house, not a palace, not a ruin, simply a house, the Strand's declared core subject, armed with a 14-turn plan of considerable architectural ambition and one very specific anxiety. The flat facade, which is claimed by the plan's own reckoning 148 previous attempts. The stakes, as they say at the table, are domestic. The painter begins, as one does after 148 humiliations, with a declaration of intent. The perpendicular shadow wall will be established in the very first stroke, a cooler and darker plane separated from the lit facade, before the canvas has had time to form opinions. 4 strokes, no corrections, and a confidence that is, one must admit, rather moving to witness. By turn 3, the house has been given a sky, steel blue cooling toward the top, warm pale at the horizon, and a ground of ochre tan below. The 3 register read the plan prescribed, arriving more or less on schedule. The painter is, at this point, ahead of their own history. There is, it emerges, a white gap, a patch of untouched canvas behind the house where the atmosphere had not yet reached, and 11 strokes are spent remedying it, re-establishing the silhouette with what the painter calls proper front wall. A small detour, though one notes that patching a gap is considerably less embarrassing than flat facade number 149. The windows and door arrive in turn 7, described with admirable restraint. Dark rects, warm brown rather than black, soft edge modulation on the doorway threshold to prevent what the painter terms the lost doorway problem. 12 strokes, and the facade is beginning to resemble a place where someone might plausibly live. The tree, one tree, as the plan stipulated, placed right of the house, is constructed with pressure stroke, trunk work, and flower field canopy masses, a pointed rebuke to the 64 blob trees that preceded it. Whether it succeeds is, at this stage, a matter of faith. That the painter attempted it correctly is not nothing. Phase 6 is the unification pass, 9 strokes devoted to consolidating the ground plane into coherent ochre and softening the house-ground junction. The painter's language here is avoiding the patchy, competing tones, which is a polite way of describing the muddy shadow problem that has apparently haunted this. The micro-evaluation fires and finds nothing to correct, which is either reassuring or merely the silence before the critique. The painter stops at 13 turns, placing what they call restraint-only accents, thin highlights on window tops, a doorway threshold shadow, a faint roofline separation, and then, with unusual discipline, holds the reed. 9 strokes and then silence, which is, for this particular painter, a kind of achievement in itself. The painter's own verdict is a 0.54, and the self-critique arrives with the precision of someone who has said this before. The right shadow wall bleeds into ambiguous mid-tones, rather than reading as a clearly turned plane, which is to say that flat facade number 149 has occurred, though in a softer, more philosophical register than its predecessor. A house that breathes, the plan promised. What was delivered breathes, one might say, through both nostrils into the same nostril.